Okay. Hayden, go. Okay, so the goal of the AP Time writing is, someone read it.
Argument open prompts.
The goal. Next.
Set your skills at understanding an issue, developing an argument, and defending a position on that issue.
Thank you, Claire. Okay, so the argument prompt is set up a lot differently than the rhetorical analysis prompt that you're used to. For rhetorical analysis, you're reading a piece of evidence, and then you're going to be responding to the rhetorical. You're going to like identify and respond to the rhetorical. Oh my God, I lost my train of thought. It's the camera. It's Lexi.
It makes you nervous.
To the rhetorical and rhetorical strategies that the author uses. In an argument prompt, you're going to be given a much shorter prompt, and it's going to ask if you agree or disagree personally, and you are going to take a stand, and I'm going to just tell you exactly how to write it just now. So as you go through, look at your notes. You can take notes on there. So basically, the first thing you're going to do is address the prompt. So always read the prompt carefully. This is the same as step 1 in rhetorical analysis. Always read the prompt carefully. Again, read the entire prompt. You need to answer all the parts of the question. Old prompts, I forget what year they stopped doing this, but they may ask to challenge, defend, or qualify. So if we do a practice using one of the older prompts, it's going to have that type of wording, but that's no longer used on the AP test now, okay? Sometimes you're given a situation to respond to. Sometimes you're given a quote. Sometimes you give your take on given terms. Sometimes you're asked to consider the pros and cons of a situation or write a letter, which is why all these different things are available, so that's why you need to read the directions carefully, okay? Yes? So we're going to look at some examples, yes?
So if you're like addressing an argument being personal, can you use I believe,
No.
I think?
So like, let's say the prompt talks about school uniforms, and you think that they should be required in all public schools. You'll say school uniforms are a necessary requirement, are necessary to be added. You're not going to say you're going to say they need to be added. Yeah.
So you take your stand on it, more like.
You take a stand on a prompt, yes. Yes.
Will you ever be told like which side you have to support?
No, actually it would be more authentic, and your writing would be better if you are honest. The AP testers are not going to grade you down based on the side you choose.
But like, are they going to tell you to like pick a side?
No. So let's read some examples actually. Can I get someone to read the 2010 prompt on your piece of paper? Sid, nice and loud.
Okay, the first Buy Nothing Day, a day on which people are purchase no goods, was organized in Canada in 1992 as a way to increase awareness of excessive consumerism. A Buy Nothing Day has been held yearly since then in many nations. An online article, Buy Nothing Day, 2006 press release, urged worldwide acceptance of taking a 24-hour consumer detox as part of the 14th annual Buy Nothing Day in order to expose the environmental and ethical consequences of overconsumption. Here's the source. Consider the implications of a day on which no goods are purchased. Then write an essay in which you develop a position on the establishment of the annual Buy Nothing. Support your argument with appropriate evidence.
Okay guys, so you see up here, I don't think it's highlighted on your piece of paper, but as we read the prompt, we're going to annotate it in the same way that we would annotate a rhetorical analysis prompt. I want you to think about what the prompt is asking you to do. I want you to underline or highlight key ideas, key words, key phrases. So in this example, consider the implications was highlighted, develop a position on the establishment, and then appropriate evidence. You need to have evidence, and we will get to evidence in a bit.
Yeah.
Bless you. We get to move on? Okay. So we're going to practice annotating a prompt. So the next one I'm going to read. It's on your piece of paper in front of you. It's a 2016 one. I'm going to read it, and as I read, I want you to underline, or if you have a highlighter, you can highlight keywords or phrases or ideas as if you were about to take this AP exam, okay? In 1891, Irish author Oscar Wilde observed, disobedience, in the eyes of anyone who has read history, is man's original virtue. It is through disobedience that progress has been made, through disobedience and through rebellion. Wilde claims that disobedience is a valuable human trait and that it promotes social progress. Write an essay that argues your position on the extent to which Wilde's claims are valid. Use appropriate examples from your reading, experience, or observations to support your argument. Can I get someone to tell me one of the phrases or key ideas that they underlined? Yes.
Extent, like extent to.
Extent to, excellent. Anyone else? Don't be shy. Yes.
I underlined the year.
The year, great, great. So I have here, I highlighted what Oscar Wilde observed, the quote. So, read history, original virtue, through disobedience that progress has been made, because that's his claim, right? And then in yellow, I highlighted the actual directions of the prompt. So write an essay and then use appropriate examples, okay? Step 1 clear for everyone?
Yes.
Excellent. Let's move on. All right, so step 2 of addressing an argument prompt is to think and plan. You're not going straight to writing, right? So you're going to consider the different possible perspectives on the issue and the kind of evidence that might be used to support those perspectives. What does that mean? School uniforms are horrible. I don't think they should be in school. Am I going to consider the other side, or am I just going to stand my ground? Consider the other side. That's what makes a strong essay. Choose your position based on your true feelings about the issue. Your writing and voice will sound more authentic if you believe your own argument. Again, emphasizing that you get to think what you're arguing. Who thinks this is easier than rhetorical analysis? Great. Who prefers rhetorical analysis? Excellent. Who doesn't care? Yeah. Who just wants to get the AP exam over with? It's okay. Don't oversimplify the issue. The College Board chooses these prompts because they lend themselves to multiple perspectives and subtle interpretation. Brainstorm evidence based on supporting points. Consider the relevance, accuracy, and sufficiency of the evidence you use. Okay, so you're thinking and planning for step 2. Questions about step 2? Step 3 is to take a position, okay? After considering a variety of perspectives and implications, develop a position. And this might be the first thing you do in your head, like, oh yeah, I totally agree with that, or oh, I don't agree with that at all. Develop a position based on the most compelling implications. Be sure that you can support this position with careful reasoning and evidence. Who can tell me the difference between an open thesis and a closed thesis? Someone read the example closed thesis to me. Go ahead, Sid.
Human disobedience is a key factor in furthering mankind and is valuable to social progress, as displayed by the examples of segregation in the 1900s, World War II, and modern social movements.
Go ahead and read open thesis, Sid.
Through disobedience, systems of inequality are toppled and vast societal progress is made, stressing its value of vital trade. But
Who sees a difference there? Yes.
There's more like,
In which one?
like for closed thesis.
In closed thesis, they lay out their evidence. Yep. Go ahead, Sita.
Well, in a closed thesis, they tell you specifically what you're talking about.
They tell you specifically what they're talking about. So how is the essay then going to be laid out for a closed thesis? Is it going to follow that exact hamburger style that you're used to writing? Hamburger style essay?
yeah.
Which one is more sophisticated writing?
Close.
Open thesis. Why? Go ahead. And
At least when you're confused, using closed thesis, you just yourself what you write.
Exactly. It leaves room for you to develop your points and bring in more evidence than just the ones you're constrained to in your closed thesis. Closed theses are excellent. Someone laughed and said it sounded like I was saying theses. They still are excellent, okay? Even a qualified thesis is excellent. But I think that an open thesis would be a great type of thesis for this type of writing. Yes?
So on the earlier slide, it was talking about how the prompts are chosen because there's like multiple ways of doing things.
Yes.
So with an open thesis, would you then be able to like look at all of the different inputs and stuff?
You do need to establish some sort of.
No, I mean like on one side of the argument.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Are you in capstone? No, okay. This is very similar to like things I do in capstone, which is why I'm asking. Yes, Sid?
How would you be able to argue if you're not given the historical passage or like anything before? I'm asking this seriously, I'm not trying to be funny.
Excellent question. I will get to that soon, to evidence soon.
And then which thesis do you want to use? Which one's the best one to use?
I think open would be great.
But any of them would work.
Any of them work. If you're comfortable using a closed thesis and laying out your essay like that, that's totally okay. Yes.
So like if we're doing, so like, if I was doing a rhetorical analysis essay, I'd do close thesis because I can use what each one, but for argument essay, or, yeah, since it's like more, you want it to be more in detail, you want to consider the other side, the open thesis is better because you want to.
Yeah, it's cool. Great. Any other questions? I want you guys to try now, so we're gonna do a little practice. So, on your piece of paper, you should see that there's space for you to write. I want you to practice by using one of the two prompts that we read earlier. So either by nothing day or disobedience. You can write 2 thesis statements for one of them. You can write 2 different thesis statements for each prompt. Practice writing a thesis, okay? And I'll come around and see what. On your piece of paper, there's a place to write a thesis statement. Yeah. A qualified thesis is like when, say, although this, comma, this. So that's also good in this paper because you can address the counter argument in the thesis. So that would also work.
Is that kind of also setting it the rest of the paper up to talk about one, what you talk about why your argument is right, and then the one
Right.
structure?
Yeah. Yeah. They're all good examples. All these examples were given from papers that scored 8 or 9. So if you follow any of them, you'll be fine. You will be using this thesis you create in a later activity, so actually take it seriously. Lexi, you can go around and like see what they're writing. You don't have to film them, you can like pause it or something.
You can't do that.
Yeah, shoot videos and like mash them later. Hello. Dr. Jory, I love you.
You told them my real name.
Oh, sorry.
Can you cut that out?
I'm gonna edit this video. Lexi.
I'm just trying to get the full experience with every reader.
What's the difference between Miss A.B.?
What?
What's the difference between closed thesis and open thesis? I mean, closed thesis and qualified thesis.
Be nice.
No, I
A
don't.
qualified thesis is when you say, although this. So like that would be addressing the counter argument in your thesis. That's pretty good too. All of these examples are from papers that scored 8 or 9. Yes. That's the challenge.